Bianca, I've been up since 3. I just let you finish your sleep and now I'll break the news to you. And it's like, oh my God, my whole world just got tipped upside down from an email.
Sige and Kim Kardashian's copied your business.
Yeah.
Oh,
that was,
my God. Okay,
yeah.
we need to dive into this.
Right.
Well, hello, girls.
Hello.
I have today on the show my beautiful sisters. They're sisters, we're sisters. I'm like the third wheel.
Yeah.
I am.
Definitely.
Welcome to the Roccisano family.
I love being a part
Italian. Do you like pasta?
of it. I'm the tallest Italian you've ever met.
I'm pretty tall, 5'8".
Girls, thank you so much for coming on my show. It's honestly, they're from Melbourne. You're up here for the weekend. We're going away after this.
We are.
Yeah, but it's just so exciting to have you on the show. I've only just started this show and it's just incredible to have powerhouses like you two on this show.
We're incredibly honoured and humbled to be on your show with the
Grateful,
incredible lineup that Alison has on her show. We're honestly very proud to be here.
Definitely.
I really, really, really want to dive into the bio that you girls have. How do you have 4 or 5 businesses at your age? It's not even normal. Explain it to me.
Well,
we've got Booby Tape, we've got Bianca and Bridgett, we've got the Melbourne Stylists, and then we've brought out new things, so we've got so much to talk about today.
Well, it all really started from Melbourne Stylists.
Okay, so what year was that? That was 2017.
2010 was Melbourne
2007.
Stylists.
Yep.
So 2010 was Melbourne Stylists, and that was pretty much, we were both at university. I had just moved to Melbourne. Bianca had just gone back to university to study.
Can I
law.
add broke?
What were we studying?
Broke.
What were we studying?
Broke, yeah. So I was studying graphic design,
Yep.
and Bianca just went back to uni after leaving a full-time job to study law. So we both were at university together.
I was a real estate person, real estate agent by trade, which
Yep.
is what my family does.
Yeah.
So when I went to uni, I'm like, I've always been very driven and very motivated. I went to uni for 6 months. I said, I want to make money. Screw
not
this.
here.
I'm dropping out.
Yep. So did you become qualified in law?
Yes. No, this was when I was 18. So I
Yep.
dropped out of uni and then I went and worked as a real estate agent for 6 years. I just had I love real estate, but I had this greater sense of achievement that I wanted to do. Thought I was too smart not to get a university degree. Better go back at the age of 25. Big mistake. Should have done it when I was younger. So went back and then completed my law degree.
Do you think that if you did it when you were 18, it would have been different today?
Knowing what I know now, it would have been different today. But, when you're 18, you're scared to go into business. It's just different.
And being 18, you just wanted to have money behind you. You wanted to go out. You wanted to have the nice things. Is that correct?
Yeah,
I'm the same.
Just
Exactly
driven.
the same.
Just driven and motivated. And I could not, for the life of me, understand how studying at university was going to benefit me and was going to benefit my career. I thought, whilst everyone's studied, like back then my mindset was that I can be 4 years ahead of everyone else if I start working. But I didn't really I was worried about making money for now. I wasn't really planning
the future.
for
Long term.
as now we'll talk about later, thinking big and the bigger picture.
And at 18, we're not supposed to know that.
Yeah, true.
And if you could look back now, you're like, I wish I studied it. I was studying law as well. And I left law because what happened with me, essentially, I liked to do law because I thought it was going to help people. Well, when I got into it, it was all about money. And it wasn't really what I wanted. And I worked for a lawyer who essentially, he taught me everything I know today because the hard work that you put in at those I was getting paid $300 for like 18 hours work. But now you're working 18 hours and you know how hard it is to do what you do.
Absolutely.
And then, so did you do law as well?
No,
Bridget?
so graphic design.
Yep.
Yeah, so I got my Bachelor of Communication Design.
Yep. And then what age was that?
That was when I graduated. I probably was like 21 or 2.
Bridget, you should tell them about your schooling and your
Tell
high
us.
school. And I'll say it because I'm so proud of Bridget. Bridget wanted to drop out of high school. My parents and myself I've always been slightly more academic. Yep. Bridget, we had to force her. We said, Bridget, you're going to finish year 12.
It wasn't for me.
Yep.
School wasn't for me. I didn't have a good school experience at all, not with the kids that I grew up with. I never, as much as I love my hometown, it's the best place in the world, Mildura. I did not fit in there. I did not get along with the kids.
Resonate with people.
People didn't understand me there. I had an awful school experience, so I didn't want to finish school.
I agree.
But my parents, they pushed me. You've just got to get through year 12. And then it was like, all right, now just try university.
So we just said, no, let's just get a bachelor degree, Bridget. Let's just do it. And Bridget's very creative. Little did we know that Bridget's degree, which Bridget's done a Bachelor of Communication, majoring in graphic design, that was going to save us so much money and that was going to actually make us a lot of money for our business.
So just sitting here with you telling me that you have the business side of things and the legal side of things, and then you having the graphics, it already shows me why you guys are so successful in business.
Yin and yang.
What a partnership.
Especially when you're starting up. Like Bianca's got all that covered. I made all of our websites, designed everything, logos, this, that.
I don't want to know about it. I'm like, Bridgett, do not show me anything to do with the website.
You can just see what a team you girls are, because as soon as you both said that, I'm like, in business, if you're going to have a business partner, you need to be yin and yang.
Yeah, you do.
And that's probably why you guys are so. Is there anything behind the scenes that happens? Like, is the arguments quite big when they're play out?
Huge.
Yeah, we're not going to lie. We're not going to lie.
Yeah, and
like,
Bridgett, you're a lot younger, aren't you?
Yeah, 6 years younger than Bianca. Yeah.
Yeah. So it can be sometimes a little bit
because
more
we're so different, but then we're so alike.
Yep.
Like, so we couldn't have if we didn't agree on everything, we couldn't have a business together. Like, I know if I'm gone for a month, she's got it under control. I know any decision is fine, and same vice versa. But we're both very strong. We're both Italian, and when the fireworks happen,
it happens.
It's on.
And then how do you guys manage those situations?
Well, it comes down to the art of negotiation. So everything between us is a negotiation and a compromise, and that's the only way that our relationship works. When I say we argue, Bridgett and I have exactly the same values, morals, ideas, business-wise. Like I said, if she's, like I had to go to China last year and do a business trip that Bridgett couldn't attend because she was sick last minute, I knew the decisions I was making, Bridgett would agree with. I didn't have to second guess it. And I know that if I was the other way around, 100%. She would make the right decision. But it comes down to,
it's more like just silly things.
Might say we're going to go on sale today. I might want to do 10%. Bridgett might want to do 20%.
That's what I mean.
Let's do
it's
15.
like silly things. Like
but that's that's why I'm so intrigued, because I've just gone into a different business with a business partner, and I've never had a business partner before.
Good luck.
And no, but we are completely opposite as well in what I'm more of probably what you are, Bridgett, and I'm more like you, and then he would be more like Bianca. So it's how we communicate and stuff. It's incredible how it actually works. But if he was exactly the same as me,
it wouldn't work.
No, it would never work.
It wouldn't work.
Yeah. I want to dive back even further. You guys are both from Mildura. Now, only reason how I know this place is because we have a franchise that travels there from Adelaide.
So close to us.
But it's in Victoria.
It's at the very top.
Like,
it's on the border of New South Wales. It's probably a 3-minute drive
South
from
Australia.
New South.
It's like in the corner.
So it's right on the corner. So how long is it from Victoria, like Melbourne?
550 kilometres,
6
so about
hours.
6 hour drive.
Do you drive it much?
No.
We don't have time anymore, unfortunately.
We fly. Yeah, it's a 45-minute flight, so you can't really compare wasting a whole day to a 45-minute flight.
And so growing up in a small country town, let's go into that. Tell me a little bit about it. What was it like growing up? Obviously, your parents come from wealth. You come from wealth?
My parents don't come from wealth. They come from humble Italian migrants who my dad's family were farmers, and my dad's father actually is very interesting. He was the first Italian real estate agent in Mildura.
Wow.
So to be in the 1950s and 60s to go into business and to be a migrant was huge back then. Everyone was farmers, and that's kind of what they did. So whilst my grandfather had the business and entrepreneurial nature to begin with, the ideas were there, but I think it would be fair to say it wasn't actually making any money. So it was there, he wanted to. So then my dad grew up in that business. So then my grandfather tragically passed away. I think
my parents actually had plans to move to Melbourne. That was the plan. And then my grandfather tragically passed away. So my dad's kind of stuck in the real estate game, and now they've been there like 38 years.
But he's grown it, so he's grown it very successful. He's probably got the biggest real estate agency in Northwest Victoria, and he's got quite a large property development company as well. So he's super busy.
And you would see him as a mentor?
Absolutely.
Like we call a mum and dad how many times a day? They are,
So incredible.
Sorry, my mum as well. We don't speak about my mum. So I didn't have a stay-at-home mum. No. Bridgett and I were raised by nannies. She worked a lot, and I think my mum is part of the reason why we are the way we are today, because she's such a strong, powerful woman. I'd wake up in the mornings and she's already at work.
She's gone, and then she'd be like, you be ready at 8 o'clock and I'm there, and if you're not ready, you miss school. Like, you're there. So we're there waiting with our backpacks. She drops us off back to work, and then the same thing after school. She'll literally drop us off home, and she'd be like, Bridgett, dinner needs to be on the table at 6 p.m. for when your father and I get home.
That's why we can cook if anyone follows us.
But that shows you guys a lot of structure now as well.
Totally.
It was like no joke with my mum, because she didn't have time, and they are both the most hardworking people that I've ever met.
They're the definition of a power couple.
That's incredible.
And they're yin and yang as well.
What inspiration you guys have, and role models that you guys have. it's so often, I'm sure you guys get that, you had a successful family, so you guys, that's how you're successful.
All the time.
Is that the truth?
That's all we get.
Yeah, I don't believe it. I feel like you guys have taken the best out of it and made your own.
So we've been groomed, I would say, from a very young age to be entrepreneurs. My mum and dad had us working in their office, and we were known as like street kids, normal kids, go home after school. We were at our parents' office, photocopy this, file this, empty the bins from children.
And I like to say too, as a father, like mum was always hard on us, but as a father, a lot of fathers, not in a rude way, they kind of baby their daughters a bit more so, and they're a bit, our dad raised us like men. He's like, you are to do, you are not to rely on anyone, you are to be successful, and you will have a business one day, and he was always really like that.
Can we bring him in, please?
Yeah, I know.
Actually, he's fabulous.
He is. That's incredible, honestly. And what he's raised is unbelievable with you two.
Thank you.
Because you've gone from literally one business. Talk about scaling. How did you guys go from one business to now 3 businesses?
Well, so we started off with Melbourne Stylists, which Bridget and I were broke. We had no money. And we said, we were at uni. And
as much as everyone thinks that our parents do everything for us, they don't. We had no money.
Yep.
And we were like, how are we going to support ourselves? You were working at David Jones.
Were you both living in Victoria?
Melbourne.
Yeah.
You were working at David Jones.
Yes.
And I was bouncing like receptionist at a hairdressing
You weren't
salon,
even. Bridget didn't even have a proper job.
I was like
she was
bouncing
going from
around,
job
working
to
at a
job.
bar. Like, I don't even know what I was doing. And we're like, what are we going to do? And we want to go home Christmas holidays. We want to, that's Mildura is our home.
We need a flexible
job.
Yep.
So
said, what can we start with no money? And we were obsessed with Rachel Zoe at the time, who was one of the biggest celebrity fashion stylists in America.
I know exactly who she is.
We can do this job. We think we're okay with fashion. Our friends come to us for advice.
Yeah.
So very quickly, basically for that type of business, we just needed a website, and it was word
service.
Then we started pumping out
used
for
your
free
own skills in making a business.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible.
So then we started off, and before we knew it, we had about 60,000 followers on Instagram.
How long?
It wasn't long. Would have been a year or two.
A year or two.
Yeah, it wouldn't
So
have
you
been
just
long.
self-promoted yourself?
Well, we started thinking, we thought, once again, we had no formal training. We thought, how are we going to get people to know about us? We can only be as good as how people know about us. So we thought any type of celebrity contact that we had, we said, can we please dress your girlfriend or your wife for free, or yourself, and then please tag us on Instagram.
Yep.
So Bridget and I
offered a free service to so many.
But we
but
did
you
free work for a
leveraged
while.
off that.
Leveraged off it.
Yeah.
But I'm the same. I've done that many free jobs.
Yeah.
And if you think you're going to just make it overnight, it doesn't happen.
I meet people like makeup artists, and they're like, oh, so-and-so, like a really big celebrity asked me to do their makeup for free. She's like, how dare them ask me for free? And I'm like, are you silly?
Yeah.
And I'm like, that was the
Our
biggest
best
opportunity.
$150.
Your life was about to change. I'm like, are you silly?
$150 you're not making, and an hour's out of your time.
Literally.
Yeah. But, it takes 10 years to build an overnight success. And I think so many people just think, oh, they just made it, or they just did it, or but what they don't realize is what happens behind the scenes.
That's
now,
right.
we're all really good friends here. And we call each other at 12 o'clock at night. The conversations are always the same, and we can all really relate with each other. Hence why we're such good friends. And we haven't known each other for all the many years, but our relationship is stronger than majority of my relationship with my friends, because
we're like-minded.
We're like-minded, but we can relate so much. And we have pretty much exactly the same business, but I'm doing teeth, you're selling booby tape and beautiful dresses. Let's talk about marketing. Like, marketing for me is everything, and marketing for you guys is everything.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, your type of budgets in marketing are definitely not mine. You're spending hundreds and hundreds of $1,000s on one event. Like, that's incredible. Talk about that. And then how does an event over in America happen with you guys staying here?
Yeah, so we need to employ the best team, basically. And Bridget and I we're very controlling, and we're very hands-on in the business. So if we say we're going to have an event, we just don't let an events person, they don't just organise it. Like, absolutely not. There's about 50 emails a day. There is constant communication. Bridget and I
Pictures
approve.
of everything, every flower.
I want to approve a straw that's going in the bottle.
Yeah,
it has to be. If you're going to come to a Bianca and Bridget event, it's going to be something that Bianca and Bridget genuinely want to go to.
The whole philosophy about anything we do is anything we would do for ourselves. So, for example, if I was planning my wedding, our booby tape event would be no different to how we're planning like our own wedding type of thing. Like, every detail we need to know.
If you purchase a Bianca and Bridget dress, you're going to receive it the same way we want to buy a designer dress.
That is incredible.
Booby tape, branding. If you follow us on Instagram, like we give away Gucci bags, we give away cash,
All the
anything
things
that we want.
But that's because you know your client very well.
Correct.
You've really, really nailed that. And do you guys have a big team behind?
There's about 10 of us at the moment.
And a marketing team?
Bridgett and I, hands-on, we do all of that ourselves.
And I speak to so many business owners and they don't realize actually how much we actually do. And I think you need to be in control of that.
Yeah.
Marketing is everything. You know, you can hand over a few other things, but that's 120% your brand. You can't do it. No one can do it better than what you
We
can
can't
do it.
palm that off
So
to
many
someone.
people ask both of us, you know, how can I get my brand out there? How can I do this? How can I, you know, become like a Booby tape? You can have the best product in the entire world. If no one knows about your product, it's useless.
Correct. Exactly
Like
right.
it's completely useless.
So how did Booby Tape come about? Because this is an interesting business. So the fashion stylist came first.
Yes.
And then was it Bianca and Bridgett?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'll just quickly touch on the
Yep.
fashion. So we had this fabulous following on Instagram. Everyone was really interested in what we're doing, but we weren't making, we were making enough money to survive off there, but it was nothing crazy.
Yeah.
It was still more than what a normal person would make in a normal job. We thought, how do we leverage these followers into cash?
Sure.
How can we do that? What do our followers want? They want fashion. What do Bridgett and I good at? Fashion. We've always wanted to design a clothing label, and then people like...
we found that like even dresses that we were designing for Brownlow or this or that, then they were getting replicated for everyone's wedding dresses and things like that.
And the girl that wore the maths dress.
that was
Huge.
that went viral.
That went viral.
and that was not...
That wasn't even
She actually
planned.
purchased that dress.
Yeah,
we had no
we didn't even
knowledge.
know she was wearing it.
It just takes one, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It really just takes one. But I'm sure how many dresses you guys have pushed out to so many people just to wear my dress.
Yeah.
Oh, Alison,
daily.
we probably give away, I would say, around $30,000 of clothing a year.
I don't even know how. I don't know. It's a
Yeah,
lot. I'm like, I don't even know. I can't
more,
tell you. Yeah.
because it's just so important
It's
to
just
get your clothing,
constant.
and you might have to give away $10,000 to get that one person to wear.
Chocolate.
For example, we've just had. Who did we just have?
Jessica Alba.
Jessica Alba just posted on Instagram maybe 10 days ago.
Yeah, ish. Yeah.
And we're waiting for her.
Matt thinks that I look like Jessica
You
Alba.
do?
I do not think I look anything like
What
her.
a compliment.
He tells me every single day, him sitting here. So very
We rate
impressive.
her.
Very impressive.
Yeah, like Alessandra Ambrosio, Ashley Graham.
Huge. Yeah, that was
So
huge.
how do you guys get in touch with them? Do you send to their PR company?
Stylists usually.
Yep.
So the stylists, and it's like I said, it's sending out a lot of product. You might send out 100 dresses,
Yeah.
and then one person
Yeah.
wears it. But you have to invest in the business, and people don't realize it's constant.
Yeah.
Yep.
If
People
someone
think they're just going to create something and it will sell. It's like no,
No.
It's not gonna happen at all.
I'm like no,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's the thing. And, you know, being when you have a styling business or when you have dresses, it's about bringing out the next fashion.
Yeah.
Are you guys always ahead of the fashion?
And
How
that's
does it?
that's a thing.
should talk about, keep jumping a little bit, but Melbourne stylists, so how Bridgett and I made a name for ourselves being different to every other stylist is, so in Australia, we think they're quite conservative with fashion. Bridgett and I would do a piece that we think you would see at the Oscars
Yeah.
in LA. So you would see feathers, trains going down, you'd see
Pearl
sequins,
beads,
sparkled pearls.
yeah.
And on the red carpet, it stood out, and everyone's like, "What is she wearing?" And we become known. People said Melbourne stylists have styled her.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so
I
then-
love hearing these stories.
Yeah, it was just.
So that's how Bianca and Bridgett was created, really, from our styling.
Yeah.
And then Booby Tape came a year after that.
A year after.
should tell them how Booby Tape
I'd love
started.
to hear about Booby Tape. It's now a multi-million-dollar business.
It's very exciting,
Yeah.
Booby Tape,
Yeah.
because it's global.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we just did a count the other day. I think we're in over 35 countries, and we have over 1,100 stockers
Okay,
worldwide.
how many years has this been open for?
Coming up to 2 in July.
Okay, this is an overnight success.
Well, as you would say, Alison,
It takes
all the
10 years.
10 years
Yeah.
before has led to
Some
this.
people who I get people who don't know Bianca and Bridgett and Melbourne Stylists and they just know us from Booby Tape and they're like, oh my God, how did you just do that? Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
overnight. And I'm like, we've been doing this for like 10 years.
Yeah.
Like it's a,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
It's so many different things before you get there.
That's
And
right.
there's so many people don't see what happens behind
They
the
don't.
scenes.
They see what happens on Instagram
Yeah.
and that's
If you
about as far as it
email
gets.
me at any time of the day from 6 a.m. to about midnight, you'll get a reply within 5 minutes. It's like my text.
And
Like,
we've had how many nights?
not many people do.
How
Yeah.
many nights have we had? Which I really try not to do, but in the middle of the night, you know, when you wake up and you're like, try not to. But you're like, all right, I'll just check the emails. I'll quickly just check the emails, and then
Yeah.
you check, and then something comes in from London or
like the coronavirus
yeah.
ones?
Anyway, and then like both times we've woken up in the morning, and she's like to me, I've been up since 2. I've just let you have your sleep. Or the same thing where I'm like, Bianca, I've been up since 3. I just let you finish your sleep and now I'll break the news to you. And it's like, oh my God, my whole world just got tipped upside down from an email. Like it's just insane. People have no idea.
Should we talk about that time you messaged me in Hong Kong?
Yeah. Oh, no.
No?
You can.
I want to hear it.
I'm going to say all the time I woke up to a message and Kim Kardashian's copied your business.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was-
my God. Okay,
yeah.
we need to dive into this a little bit.
We've never spoken about this before, so.
It wasn't like we were.
So is this booby tape?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, go.
So I woke up at 6 a.m. to my phone vibrating. I'm like, what the hell's going on? I thought someone died. I didn't know what happened. I had like 20 million messages.
I'm in Hong Kong 3 hours back.
But strangers. I'm sorry for your loss. I'm this, I'm that. I'm like, people going, how devastated are you? And I'm like, what's happened? Like, I did not know. Anyway, and then it's like a million people sending me, Kim Kardashian's launched her own breast lift tape. And I'm like, and it was just, and then she was in Hong Kong, so she was 3 hours ahead of me, behind me. So I had to wait for her to wake up. And
I just wake up ready to have the day of work.
I was like pacing up, down. Like, do I call it? Let her have the last 3 hours of peace before I like tip everything. Yeah.
So what has that done for the business? What's the revenue like? Has it completely dropped on revenue?
When I received all those messages, I was like,
what was your initial?
I was like, oh my gosh. I would swear if I could swear. I don't know if I can. Like, I was like, oh my effing God. Anyway, and
Negative Nancy here.
No, not negative Nancy. It was just shock because we actually sent her some booby tape and she received it. And anyway, so she's fully
Courtney posted the flowers. Like,
anyway,
we know she received them.
Anyway, so that's another story. But then that day we had record sales and it just actually skyrocketed from
It actually helped your business.
Thanks, Kim, for the exposure to this.
Yeah, it actually helped your business. And are you guys in the same price range?
No, Kim's is more than double ours.
Yeah.
So double your price. Well, that's actually a really good thing.
And she only sells online.
So now today we're in 1,100 stores across the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
How do you guys essentially speak to all the stores and communicate with them? And are you having meetings in the middle of the night?
Yeah, so this is why our business is so full on, because we deal with time zones. So we wake up in the morning and we'll deal with USA. Get that over, we'll deal with Australia. Then we have a little rest from sort of 5 to 7. Then we start with Europe and UK. And then you just do it all again the next day.
And you try not to wake up in the night and check your emails.
Yeah.
It's hard because the time
really
frames would be so hard.
Yeah.
And what about sleeping patterns?
Yeah, that's we try and just sleep through the night, but it's hard because you try.
We're very routined.
Yeah.
Very routine.
Very routined.
Yeah.
We need routine and structure. But we, at the same time, if I have 4 hours sleep, I can function.
Yeah.
As long as I sleep for 4 hours, I'm okay.
You're good.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to leave it there, girls. We're coming back and we've got so much to go into. I feel like we could talk for hours.
Are you wanting a dramatically whiter smile? If you're a coffee drinker or a lover of red wine, then Sparkling White Smile's premium ultra white treatment is for you. The ultra white treatment consists of 2 sittings 1 week apart. This headlining treatment is tailored to leave your teeth up to 14 shades lighter post-treatment. For bookings and inquiries, send an email to info@sparklingwhitesmile.com.au. That's info@sparklingwhitesmile.com.au.
So, girls, I really want to dive into the current situation with the coronavirus and what it's done for your businesses. And, where it's at, how we've come out on the other side.
It's affected our businesses differently, and what took me by surprise is I thought something like Booby Tape, a $21.95 product, would have would have been the one that people could afford, not the $300 dresses. But in actual fact, Booby Tape throughout this time...
Booby Tape was on life support, to be honest. It was incredibly tough. I'll just say the truth. We had one day we sold 4 rolls of Booby Tape.
Yeah.
I love that's saying life support.
Yeah.
It was on life support.
A lot of businesses were on life
to
support,
give you-
me being one of them.
During the crunch time of it all, Booby Tape really struggled.
Like, to give you an example, like we're ordering, 200 to 300,000 rolls at a time.
Yep.
This is a big business.
Yep.
So Booby Tape was struggling severely.
And what about the suppliers? Were they cancelling
orders?
Yeah.
I think I called you a few
I
times
remember
earlier.
that.
I'm like,
we
just lost another major.
Yeah.
I was on the same boat as you, and I'm like,
I think everyone was just scared. Like, everyone didn't know what to do. So they're like, your next order that, we're supposed to do, 150,000 rolls. We're like, we're just stopping that right now. And we're like, what?
Where did this come from?
And then we're incredibly fortunate that this Times did only last sort of around 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And now the supplies, people are starting to go out again.
Yeah.
Now they're like, we need that order. We need that
And
order.
we need it now.
everything.
And we need it now. So it is good. It's been a light at the end of the tunnel. It's all
Yeah.
picking back up again now.
Yeah.
And the new products that have come out in the time.
Booby tape skin.
So yeah, that's really
Booby tape
interesting.
skin.
There's something Bridgett and I have been working on for over a year, just expanding into the skincare. We found there's no type of skincare in the world for breasts.
And we didn't actually plan to launch it now, but we thought during this time, let's get onto it.
Yeah.
Let's push it out because we've had so much going on. We were supposed to go to London, etc., but we'll talk about that in a moment. And so that's when we pushed out the 2 first products of Booby Tape Skin.
Yeah, so we've spent our time during lockdown. Basically, it's essentially we've created a new business within, it's like a sub-business within Booby Tape. So it's called Booby Tape Skin, and it's the first skincare range in the world exclusively for breasts.
Yeah.
So
You
we're
girls
very exciting.
just do not stop. It just blows my mind away. One thing, the next thing. Well, even for me, like last year, unfortunately, I lost my breasts, my implants, and it wasn't a good time, but we're not going to go into it. But when you and I were on the phone, Bianca, and I was like, there would be something that I would love to feel comfortable about.
Yeah.
And now that I don't have any breasts, I'm like wearing the booby tape, and then because I have scarring, those the things that you've sent me, the boob
20
skin,
24 carat.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yep.
My skin's looking better. My scars are looking better.
good,
Everything is
good,
beyond,
good.
and it just and a lot of it is making me feel better about myself. And
Yeah.
it's a bit of a consciousness now, knowing that I don't have any breasts. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
it's all about,
that's
Alison.
what it's-
We are about empowering women
Yeah.
in our products, and we get feedback like this all the
Yeah.
time, and it's really overwhelming. So
Yeah.
we're actually having an impact on young women.
That's how Booby Tape started though, because I'm a natural F cup, so
Yeah.
like massive, and like I can't wear low cut tops, I can't wear backless tops or anything because I need to wear a bra.
Yeah.
So I was like, there was nothing on the market, and I'm like, it's not fair that surgery is the only option if you don't want to go down that road.
Yeah.
So that's how we started Booby Tape.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then Bridgett said, there's no such thing as a breast tape. I said, I don't believe you. Because women had been using it. It is a method. We didn't create like the technique. Like if people are using masking tape. They're using duct tape.
Like I was running to Bunnings, I was running to and I'm
Might attend.
Actually doing-
and I'm ripping my skin off, and my skin's burning, and I'm like, why don't I just buy a breast tape? Like
Look-
how stupid. So I'm sitting there googling.
So then our entrepreneurial
Nothing.
brain kicks in, and she
Yeah.
tells me that there's not one. I
Yeah.
jump on Google. I said, I don't believe you. I'm like, I cannot. And when you can't find something on Google, that's one of the biggest tricks is jackpot.
That's what
Yeah.
you're
Like
doing.
that's when you can't find a
Yeah.
product. That's
Yeah.
when there's a niche.
And when you're the biggest self-promotion of your own company,
yeah.
there's no failure in that, because you can seriously say this has changed my life.
Correct.
Literally.
I used to,
And it works.
Yeah, it
before I had the implants, I've been small my whole entire life, but I used to put socks in my bra to try and make them bigger, and then when I had the implants and everything went wrong and whatever, now they're out. Now because they're saggy, I'm wearing your
Booby tape.
booby tape, and it just makes me feel so confident.
Yeah,
what it does
good.
for
I'm
We have a new
happy.
product coming for Alison too, actually.
is
Our implants.
The silicone.
silicone.
Yeah.
yeah,
there's-
implants
Wow.
for your boobs. So you put
So
the
you can-
implant
yep,
on,
and then you put the tape
and then you put the tape over.
If you wanted just a bit more shape, a bit more round.
Don't worry, we've got you covered, girl.
There's
Yeah.
so many
It's coming,
things.
it's coming.
It's unbelievable how you guys can just have a brand and then just, that's entrepreneurial. It's so in so many different ways. Like there's business owners and then there's entrepreneurs, and you guys just keep innovating and innovating and innovating. There's no stopping you two. Seriously, you two
Thank you.
are
We're
so
We're just having
inspirational.
we're just
Both of
having
you.
giving it a go.
Yep.
Like that's all we're doing, and
Yep.
we're just trying. And Bridgett and I, if anyone, we're very passionate about what we do,
Yeah.
and we love working. We get up every day and we love going to work. Then we come home. It's probably not fun living with us because we work at home too.
Yep.
So,
And you two live together?
yes,
Yeah.
we do.
I have to come to Melbourne.
Yes.
I can't wait.
You come stay with
We're-
us.
Yeah,
I'm really, really,
there's a
really
spare bedroom for you.
There it is.
Well, we're going away this weekend, so that's
Yeah,
exciting.
that's exciting.
Very excited.
You have your business and then booby tape, and now it's got booby skin, and now it's got some. There's just so many things coming off each business, and you've got 3 businesses. How do you guys manage all 3? Does it all happen from the one office?
Yeah, it does. So
Yeah.
all of our staff, they work on both businesses. So
Yep.
we're really big, like you say, we're checklist people. We have lists, and it's kind of not one takes priority or we work on one more than the other. It's just like what needs to be done.
Yep.
Like for example, if I know our summer range with our manufacturers, they'll give us deadlines. Your summer range needs to be in by July 1st, whatever. So we'll know by July 1st this is happening. And for Booby Tape Skin, like we have some product bottles and things that need to be checked off by July 2nd. That's on the list for that time too. So it's just
We just basically get up every day,
Yeah.
we check our emails, we write a list, and
Yeah.
we rank it in order of urgency.
Yeah,
It's as
exactly.
simple as that.
Yeah.
We don't like to
We just
complicate
get
things.
done
Just-
what needs to
we
be done.
prioritise
Yep.
and we get things
Structure.
done.
I'm big on structure.
Yeah.
Structure and efficiency. Bridget and
Yeah.
I can say, like, and that's why you could not start a business with someone who is not efficient.
Yep.
I have so many friends who are like, oh, I'd love to, start a business with you. And I'm like,
chance.
no,
just
because
wouldn't
work.
it just wouldn't work.
Yep.
You need to, like,
I
if
can
I say I
tell-
want something, it's got to be now.
You know,
or
I
yesterday.
can tell.
I'm the same.
Might sound
Completely
I
rude.
could start a business with you.
Oh yeah,
I'm like,
because we're running at 500 miles an hour.
but I can tell, and I know it might sound rude, I can tell how efficient you are from the way you eat or the way, if I see someone the way they wash dishes,
Yep.
if you're there washing your
Yeah.
dish like this,
Yep.
I'm like, oh my God, give me the dish, give me
Yeah,
the dish.
let me
And I'm
just
like,
do it.
it's like,
Yeah.
I can tell how efficient you are from looking at you.
Yeah. Do you guys have structures in the morning? I'm big on this as well. Like, do you wake up in the morning and you have to do something?
Yeah, okay. So we someone else asked us about
Emails.
this week.
Emails is always the first thing, although it
Straight
probably
to the
shouldn't
email.
be,
Which
but
is
Yeah.
bad, but
Yeah, it
because
shouldn't
our
be.
business, we're still so young,
Yep.
we're still so hands-on, we're doing so much, and because we are OCD efficient people,
Yeah.
we wake up straight away and do emails. And I know I'm listening to Tim Ferriss and all these wellness podcasts, and they're like, you should get up, you should meditate for like 40 minutes. Like, unless I'm going to get up an hour earlier at like 4 a.m.,
Yep.
like we don't
And-
do that.
it's just, we're just not at
Well,
that time of our
we'll
career.
talk about this again in 5 to 10 years' time.
Totally.
When
hope
That's right.
life balance is different. I
See,
don't know
we're
if
not
I...
at that stage of our career yet.
We're
We're in the
not.
hustle mode.
We are, and we're young, and we have all the
That's
energy.
right.
I'm sorry, but I'm somebody that has to wake up in the morning and I have to go to the gym.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
a non-negotiable, clears my head, and then
Yeah.
I'm ready for the day. I have learnt over the coronavirus, I'm not taking any phone calls before 7:30
Yeah.
a.m. It's just for my own mental
that's
health.
still really early. Ellen.
Yeah, that is early. People aren't awake before that time.
But that's a non-negotiable for me anymore, because otherwise it's just I'm waking up, I've got too many things going on, and then I put my hand in everything, and I need to focus on the main things at the moment.
When I say we do our emails,
Yep.
we peruse the emails.
Yep.
I might not, like, we'll peruse them and then we'll get in our exercise
Just more
after
because
that.
of like overseas, if there's anything urgent, you want to get them before they go to
Overseas.
sleep or whatever.
You
Yeah.
might have the biggest celebrity in the world wants to pull a dress. Do you know what I mean?
So
you
just
gotta
make
get
sure
that
anything
ready.
that
Yeah.
needs to be done.
I need to know, what is your marketing budget like? I have to know. Sorry, I just...
That's okay. It's okay.
Well, actually, going back to the coronavirus,
Yeah.
London. So we had a party planned for March 18th.
yes.
I was coming to that.
So
Yeah.
yes, and we pulled the party 10 days before. And at the time when we pulled it, everyone's like, "You're being over the top. It's not even going to get that bad." And we're like,
It
"No,
wasn't
no,
bad
no."
in Australia yet.
We're like, it's in London. It's like tripling, quadrupling. We're like, we don't feel comfortable.
Tell them what you did every day with the news, Bridget. And this is no sleep during.
Yeah, that
the
was no sleep. That was
No
sick.
sleep.
So Bridget's like Googling coronavirus cases UK. It was like 3 when we started, then I went to 20, then I went to 100, then I went to
200,
before we knew it was at
400.
2,000. And Bridget's like, this is just going to snowball.
just-
That was
And it
like
did.
that was probably
Yeah.
one of the worst weeks of our business
And
life.
I was speaking to you guys on the phone that week.
That was
and
horrible.
We were all in the same boat, and I was like, what are we going to do?
I couldn't sleep for more than half an hour a night.
It was
And you hadn't
bad.
eaten either.
Eaten,
Yeah.
I wish
sleep.
that
Yeah.
happened to
So
me.
Corona
Yeah.
was actually, I
No
actually got
eating.
my mental health back
Yep.
during when I went to lockdown, because I went to my family home. I needed some time out because I was at probably mental breakdown point
Yeah.
with all this, because we were investing huge money for us as a new startup.
Well, yeah, the party was at like $700,000.
700,000. And did you get the money back?
No, well, because cancelling it 10 days out, everything, we had stages, installations built, we had the DJ booth built in custom pink, we had walls, everything was built. So how do you get your money back?
And it was for 300 celebrities.
$700,000 in a whole lifetime, and you guys completely lost that.
Well, we like to think it's postponed.
yeah,
it's on hold.
It's on
Yeah.
hold.
And it will. It'll come
Well,
around.
we just, Alison, when are we going to be able to travel? We don't know. It's a scary time in the world right now.
Yeah.
But we're positive, and we've sort of carted with the losses.
Yep.
And anyway, we'll work it out.
Hopefully what we can regain when it's time, we can have the
Yeah.
party.
You guys will. You guys, that's your personality.
I'm like, was 300 people? Like, that's what the party was
should
supposed to
actu-
be?
Yeah, so then we are not also talking about, we were supposed to stop off in Bologna in Italy.
Yeah.
Just our luck, the two worst countries of the UK and Italy.
Well, the two ones.
That's where we were going. And
we were going to Cosmoprof, which is like the world's biggest beauty fair, and that's where we were going. And it was so hard to get into.
Sorry,
this.
did you have like an expo or something there?
Yeah, that was another like $20,000. We built a booth. It's all
No, that was just to
I'm
go.
saying the booth was $20,000.
Yeah, it was probably a
And then
$50,000
another-
investment.
Yeah.
So I've got to tell you how we got into this trade fair. So it was one of the most exclusive trade fairs in the world for beauty. You can't get in. It's like impossible.
It's like you can't say no to us. When there's a will, it's like how we got to Sydney. We flew to Canberra and we drove to Sydney. Like, if we're going to get here, we're going to get here.
So they said, no, I'm dealing
no.
with the Italians over email. I said, guys, 6 months of no. I said, you're not understanding. We need to be at this trade fair. We need to get in. So all the buyers, everyone from around the world goes to this trade fair.
Yep.
They said, no. I said, guys, I need to fly to you. Where can I go? They said, you can come to Hong Kong and meet us. I go, fine, that's close to my country. No problem.
I'll be on the plane tomorrow.
But I didn't know, because I'm so stubborn, Hong Kong's in the middle of riots, right? This is when Bridgett fell really ill
Yeah, I
just
didn't
before.
go.
Yeah.
Made my mum fly to Hong Kong and meet me.
Yeah.
I made my poor mum fly to meet me. We walk into the hotel and they're like, do you guys just walk in? And we're like, yeah. They're like, so the tear gas didn't hit you from the street? I'm like, what?
Yeah.
In the middle of riots.
And then you're in lockdown.
Unfortunately, now I know even more so what riots are like, but I had no idea how severe riots. They were terrorizing all of Hong Kong. Everything was broken. So it was really dangerous. So I had to fly in. I couldn't leave our hotel room, like at all. And then we had to fly out. Anyway,
How long were you there for?
She got the meeting. Not
3
long.
days.
She got the meeting.
You did
I
your
was
job
supposed
there.
I was supposed to have 1 day
Imagine
of
going
shopping.
there and not getting the contract.
She got the meeting and we got the spot.
But then we
had to postpone it, and it's still going ahead later.
it's been rescheduled 3 times for this year. Now it's been completely cancelled and it's postponed till next year at this point. So just to paint a picture, 250,000 people from around the world go to this trade fair. Wow. So to enable a crowd
Is
like
it like
that,
the Canton Fair? Like
kind of, but for beauty.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, exactly
And
like that.
you know what? I think this year's a bit of a write-off in all business anyway.
Read it off already.
I agree. What is it taken away? What are you guys taking away from it?
To always book refundable travel.
Read the contracts. Come on, Bianca.
Literally.
You know, we're
nothing
always
covers
like-
you for a pandemic.
Yeah, nothing covers you.
No, I think humble, like, staying, like, I don't know.
Saying
What
really
have we learnt?
positive.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, do you know what we've learnt? We've learnt
Always seeing
not
the
to
glass
be
half full.
and not to be lazy during times like this.
Yeah.
Like this
Love
was
that.
a time to grow. And anyone who we didn't stay home and just watch Netflix whilst we cooked like a lot more than we usually did.
So I learned how to cook.
Fabulous. Bridgett, we use this as a time, we got over our sort of disheartening experience. So this is a time to grow, innovate, improve the business. And that's what we did. And we're really confident and we're really happy with that. And now we are motivated and pumped, ready to come back.
I think it's like now too, where like we want to do like what we were doing before we thought was big, like the parties. I'm like, I want to do double that, triple that. Like now I'm like, wow, like you can see things from the outside. We could be doing more.
We're going to be on steroids
So
now.
we're going to come
I
back.
agree.
Yeah, it's
It's
going to
so
be good.
And taking away from the coronavirus, coming out on the other side now, we've been able to get through luckily enough. What is sales like at the moment?
The last
starting to pick up?
week to 2 weeks.
Yeah,
it's
I
like
think
definitely
once
started to
people
pick up.
have seen a light at the end of the tunnel,
Yeah.
that restrictions are being lifted. Look, our clothing business, I would say it's doing better than normal.
At the moment it is,
the
It's
moment,
like
I don't
everyone's
know if-
buying to make up for time or something,
Shopping is just
And
out of control.
Booby Tape's doing really well too. The 24 karat gold breast masks, when we released those, because it's like a stay-at-home product, they sold out within less than 24
I
hours.
saw
Yeah.
it in the media. And all the suppliers are back on now.
Yeah.
Suppliers are
Yeah.
reordering and
Yep.
we're just constantly, but like I said, it's a couple of months of no orders that we've got a lot to make up for. But no, we're positive and we're grateful.
Yeah.
We're grateful just to survive this because a
That's
lot of
exactly
companies
right.
have not survived.
That's
so
exactly right.
we made a plan and Bridgett and I, cut back. We said, this is our costs. Everything's cut.
Yeah. We even stopped paying ourselves wages. We're like, nothing.
I think everybody did. I'm
everything.
exactly the same.
Yeah.
We said, let's just
Yeah.
survive this.
Yeah.
Our goal was to survive.
And to keep our staff on. That was my main
Yes,
goal. I wanted to
yes.
keep my staff on and I was
Yes.
doing everything in my power to just keep
And
them
thank
on.
the Australian
Same,
government for
same.
JobKeeper
I agree.
because that was just the
help.
most incredible initiative,
Yeah.
which we had to lay off staff. Things were really tough.
Yep.
Yeah.
So thanks to JobKeeper, we've that should hopefully allow us to get back on our feet. We're super grateful that we live in a fabulous country like Australia.
So lucky.
Very fortunate.
So lucky. Girls, what can you give some advice to people that want to start out in business?
My biggest advice is if you're going to start a business, start it properly.
Yep.
If you want to be a multi-million-dollar business, you need to act like a multi-million-dollar business. Like I get people that are like, oh, look at I'm starting a business and like I've launched, and I'm like, where's your website?
Yeah.
And your email is at Gmail. That's not a multi-million-dollar business. Like
I
you
agree.
need to do, if you're going to do it, you do it properly.
So that goes in line
Yeah.
with what I think, and this is the
Yeah.
biggest thing that I've learned. It sounds so simple, but it's so complex, is you have to think big.
Yeah.
If you don't have, if you can't think big from the beginning, you're not going to achieve something big.
Yeah.
So with Booby Tape, we said we want to be like a multi-million-dollar business, multi-billion-dollar business. Why not?
Yeah, why
Reach
not?
for the stars,
Exactly.
and then
course.
if you hit here, so be it.
It's far as go.
Yeah.
Wow, you girls are so inspirational.
You're inspiring
No,
us.
it's so incredible to have you guys around, and as friends, as we get along so well. We have the same morals and ethics. It's
I
unbelievable.
think meeting you, like personally, like really changed my life. I get so emotional because
That's the best thing about
to
meeting
me-
business, because you meet like-minded people.
I
It's so
don't
nice.
meet that
Yeah.
many young women on the same path that we are, and that's
Yeah.
why I have such a special connection for you. I just love
we're
it.
all on the same page, and
So,
I look up to you girls, and it's incredible.
thank
And
you.
you're a
So we look
baby.
up
Can
to
we
you.
add? Alison is 26.
26.
Oh,
26.
wow.
Just turned
So
26. so-
you're achieving. I can't
Yeah.
wait to see where you are when you're my age.
No, we're
Very-
not much different. You're only 34. Bit
Okay.
of Botox, isn't it? It makes you look 25.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, girls.
Absolute
Thank you
pleasure.
so much. It was an honour.
Thank you.